They're going to rename Cesar Chavez Street. Let's talk about it. Okay, so it just came out that Cesar Chavez, who is now, of course, no longer alive, has had some pretty insane allegations against him, and they quickly changed the holiday, and I believe the street in LA, and they are probably going to change the street in San Francisco. So, that being said, I'm not going to get into so much of what Cesar Chavez is and was because I don't know enough about the guy and about the history to have so much of an opinion on it. I hope no matter what, the right thing happens, the most just thing happens. But I enjoy renaming places if it is justified. And with that being said, I kind of came up with a few lists just for fun because not only is it fun to rename things in light of positivity, for moving on from potentially bad things. And I know I'm being so diplomatic here. It's not my point just to be diplomatic. I'm young in the podcast, but let me just say, I've had some good ideas. And not only have I had ideas that are just kind of representative of the podcast itself, but I have had some ideas that are, listen, so I have three sections. I have Nick's Notables. I'm Nick. What I think people will choose. And then, hey, just for the hell of it, if any of my close friends listen, I have what I think my close friends would choose. So here we go. We're just right at it right now. So on my Cesar Chavez notes, my notables, just I think famous people who are fun people, who are good people, who were just inspirational. That's just kind of what I went with, right? So my number one, Danny Glover. To have Danny Glover Lane would be really cool. He's still kicking. Wonderful actor. I mean, we're talking from Lethal Weapons to Last Black Man in San Francisco to Angels in the Outfield. And I'm, of course, missing many, many, many. But I just wanted to say Danny Glover's on there. Bruce Lee, didn't you know, from here. We got the famous, legendary mayor, Willie Brown, who, I'm biased, he crowned a holiday for my friend's grandpa a while back in the 80s. It was Giorgio Vecchiola Day. Shout out to the Asdorians. So my next one is A.P. Giannini, who helped start Bank of America. He helped fund the Golden Gate Bridge. He just made a lot of money moves in San Francisco. And as an Italian American, you always hear his name because most Italians, if you're not Italian, you're listening to this podcast, ask all of your Italian friends, Italian Americans that is, what bank they are, because 80% of the time it's going to be B of A, because B of A used to be Bank of Italy, and it was in downtown. It's like right off Market. Now it's called Bank of Matador, the bank at Matador, which is like a really supposedly dope little club. I did a TikTok on that years back, but I digress, of course. And my last one, I'm not even a huge fan of the Grateful Dead necessarily. I respect everything they kind of brought to the game. I know they're filming a movie, and I think Jonah Hill is going to be in it, by the way. I also just keep digressing, but my next one is, if you call it Grateful Street, I don't know, or just I don't want to choose like Phil Lesh over Bob Weir, over Jerry Garcia, but maybe one of those three would be kind of cool. So that's my short list. I'm not just going to choose like a favorite basketball player because it's, I think people would be like, what about this person? What about that person? I think no matter what they choose, it's going to kind of be that already. Here is my new list. What I think people will choose. Okay, so what I think people will choose right now. I think it's going to be something like agriculture. I think it's going to be something like friendship. And I do think it's going to be something like maybe Mia Thermopolis. Maybe they might go with a movie name. Who knows? I mean, maybe they'll just go from any other fictional character that was created in the city. I don't know. But that was one inspirational one I could think of. That's about it. I do think they also might go back to Army Street because I believe it was that before they made it Cesar Chavez. Someone whose sister watched Princess Diaries, and I watched it as well. What a jam that would be, huh? Mia Thermopolis. Okay, so what my friend group would take, I came up with three, and let me know in the comments. I'm going to have some comments on here about what I think it will be. But what I think my friend group would take, I polled them after I made this list, and the first one that came up was the first one I wrote, which was Barry Bonds. I think he's, of course, had a tumultuous kind of career with the media. However, Barry Bonds is the home run king. He is basically from San Carlos, San Mateo, just like Tom Brady. Tom Brady was kind of on the list, but I just, because I think he never played for any Bay Area teams, I just don't think that's going to happen. So my next one was Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is a big one. My friends like Nicolas Cage the way a lot of America was kind of turning was kind of turning on any other kind of ironic actor or band, so to speak, at certain times in just the history of our culture. So I think Nicolas Cage is the last one. And there's one more. It would not be Clint Eastwood because he does not have necessarily San Francisco connections because he's been the mayor of, I think, somewhere in Monterey. But my last one was Harry Callahan of the Dirty Harry series. If you called it Harry Callahan Way, Harry Callahan Street, that would be very cool. That would be very cool. I would have a lot of fun listening to the discussions about that because half the people on social media would be kind of upset younger / older Gen Z folk who are uber duper duper political. I won't even get into what that means at the moment because wow, that's an idea and really just a topic completely for another day, I have to say. So that's kind of my short list. What I really, really think, if I had to bet money on it, and I think if I had to really take it to the bank rather, I think I would just go with something like Army Street or Agriculture Street. I don't think any politicians really come to mind. I think it's a very combative way to kind of go about this, really, because everything's so polarizing. Both sides think that their parties are perfect. They, of course, are nowhere close, and I think both sides hang out together behind closed doors, and I just don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be one or the other. And I'm actually pretty over naming things after politicians. I think it's a little bit tired, and I think it should be after the people that made the place great, unless they were great politicians that made a lot of changes. We already have Harvey Milk Terminal. We already. I mean, like it or not, we got a Pelosi Street. Nothing else really comes to mind, but Willie Brown was on there for me. I don't think there's like that much left as far as politicians go, but they should have some fun with, I think, some more cultural references if they do this. I hope this isn't a ploy to like put someone in there that might not be deserving of it, or some kind of ploy that was just created out of nowhere. I hope this is all in good faith, and I hope that this is. I just hope that it's something that it's like not only an interesting change in San Francisco, but I guess that's kind of it. I really just wanted it to be a good change, but if I had to take it to the bank, I think they would go back to Army Street or name it something easy like Agriculture. I think really what sparked me putting on these names was the fact that not only did the media do this really fast, but they voted on it crazy fast. Cesar Chavez Day, by the way, is on the 31st, I believe. And so, at the time of filming and recording, this is the 24th. So, hey, that was timely. And I don't think that they are going to, look back on it, because all the media coverage that had this had no suggestions. There was nothing about like, oh, who we should name it after. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to jump on this because that's what comes to mind. It's like, why not have some fun with it unless there's just nowhere to go, unless people are just deathly afraid of naming something. I mean, my fear is you name it after someone you love, and then there's someone that comes, from the, from the boonies, and they're like, oh, no, guess what? Bad person. And then you're just like, damn, that's my favorite actor. Or like, what a great playoff run he had in 96, though. I don't know. I didn't want to just give it like a Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, but that's it. Anyway, this has been another segment of Knicks in the City. Thank you again for listening. Until next time.